Welcome back, guys, to the channel. This is my ironing board right here, and I am going to be working on ironing the fabric that is for the reusable paper towels that I'm making just as a holiday gift. So I have this print here, this print here, this fun one, this blue one here. I have one more, but I'm going to show you what happened with this one because, well, I don't know how it happened. Actually, I swear I washed this one with similar colors and not with anything pink or red, because it never seems to fail anytime that I have a fabric from Joann Fabrics that, I mean, it's not their fault, it's mine. But I don't know if you can see the purpley pinkishness on this side. This one might be a little easier to see right here. It's in random spots, and I swear I didn't wash this with anything pink or red. So I'm really bummed out about that. But what I'm going to do with this fabric in particular, I'm not going to give this as part of the gift. I will just cut this one out for myself for my reusable paper towels. And then with the other prints, I'll probably maybe just give myself like 1 or 2 paper towels from each. And then the remainder of those will be split between the 2 gift recipients as far as however many number of sheets, paper towels is what I mean, that they will get. Cloth towels, I guess, really. So right now I'm not going to focus on this one. I'm just going to put this one aside until I get the rest of them done. So yeah, I'm just going to work on ironing these. And okay, I have all 4 of them ironed out. So next step is going to be cutting them down to the size that I want them to be. And so I currently have the paper towels that are like the half size. And so I grabbed 2 of them and I measured these out, and they're roughly like 10 by 11, I think it was. Let me double check here. 11 by 11 square roughly. And I think I'm going to do something very similar, just because these, like having 2 of these, or I guess 1 large paper towel like this in your hand it's a good size. You don't want it to be, I guess I wouldn't want it to be like too oversized, but you don't want it to be too small, like the half sheet. So I'm kind of aiming for like 10 by 12, or with a seam allowance, like 10.5 by 12.5. So that's kind of the goal. So next step is going to be getting my cutting mat out and my rotary cutter, and probably moving down to my very well loved cutting mat. My kids have gotten paint on it over the years, and I don't really use this one anymore. It's my extra one. So, all right, I'm going to start with this one. And I think it's going to be easiest for me to fold these up in a square sort of way and get as many out of it as I can. Okay, this might let me get a little bit more out of it. And I'm probably gonna have to, I don't think my rotary cutter can cut through this much actually. So I'm gonna turn it back around and I'll start from here. And I can go ahead and cut this one out because here I have enough that way and definitely enough that way. So I think that'll work. Okay, I'm almost there now. I've got currently at 11.5 here, and so I will need to cut that down a bit, which I'm gonna do right about now because I'm gonna cut this way. This is a folded edge here. So this edge has been cut and this edge has been cut. So we're gonna do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this at 10 3/4, just to kind of give myself a little bit more wiggle room. I'm making these as a gift, and of course I like my gifts to be done well, but with something like this it doesn't have to be quite so perfect. I guess that's a personal opinion, and others are going to disagree, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, I've got my very first one with my sewing clips on. It's basically ready for sewing. And of course I have how many more other ones to go, and I still have to cut this portion here. But I just noticed something with the little bit of extra that was cut off that's not the right size for these. I can definitely still use this and possibly turn it into like a reusable makeup wipe or something like that instead. So I've got just a few here, and I could even cut this in half and make it 2-ply since I have 2 sides here. So yeah, definitely don't need to throw this away. This can definitely be used. So now I'm going to move on to pinning the rest of these along with the other fabric. I might end up having to move to a table or something because my back is already starting to hurt. Definitely something I struggle with, but that's what I'm going to do here before obviously moving on to sewing. I now have all of them cut and just poked myself with a needle. And so got my sewing clips on, ran out of those and had to use my pins. So they're all ready to go now to be sewn. And so I'll sew 1/4 inch seam allowance around every one, leaving a small opening in one side so they can be flipped out or flipped the other way and sewn again around the outside. So that'll be the next step. I just realized something. I went ahead and sewed this first one, at least from the right sides together. I've flipped it out now, and so I will need to iron this and then do the stitch around so that that hole on the one side can be closed up. But I remembered something as I had started sewing this one, that I wanted to add a more rounded corner to these. So I think what I'm going to do as I grab each one, because they're all pinned already, I'm going to go ahead and cut the corner of them before obviously I start sewing them. This one I had an extra of this particular print, and so I'll just keep this one to myself, but then the rest of them I'm going to go ahead and do the corner on each of them as I go. So I'm glad I caught it now and didn't start sewing all of them. I went ahead and used this is a cover actually to my container that holds the sewing clips and whatnot, but I went ahead and used this corner and just kind of put it up fairly close to the edge, and then roughly went around it with my rotary cutter. So then that way I have these more rounded corners and a better guide as I sew to kind of know exactly where I need to shift and turn my piece. I'm gonna get started on that. I have all of this print taken care of as far as the initial sewing, and they've been flipped right side out. And so I think I already said this in the last clip. The next thing will be to iron them and to sew around the edge. But I think I'm going to go ahead and work on sewing all of these, flipping them right side out. Then I can go ahead and iron all of them at the same time or in the same evening, and then go ahead and just sew around all of them. So I think that'll probably be the next step. It is now about a week and a half or 2 weeks after I recorded everything that you just saw, because the holidays came up way faster than I was thinking that they would, and time flew by. I did get these cloths, reusable cloths done, cloths done. But so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how those turned out. But yeah, wow, just Christmas came and went, and I was like, oh, I never finished recording for that video. So I think the last bit you saw was them before I would have ironed them and then sewn around the outside edges of them. So here is what I have now. This is 1 out of 3 sets that I ended up doing. 1 set for my mom, for my boyfriend's mom, and then for my sister. This set would be for my sister. So here's the 2 with the mushrooms and snowflakes. Then this print right here, it's a nice pretty light blue. And then the gingerbread. I think the gingerbread are really cute. I do realize that yes, these are very Christmassy themed, but I don't know. I would still use them year round, but that's me. I'm a little bit strange like that. So maybe I should have picked some prints that were more everyday or solid colors, but I didn't. I saw these on the Joann website and I was like, ooh, I like these. I feel like these kind of all go together. And yeah, I still have that 2 yards of the other print that ended up getting bled from a different material in my wash or my dryer. I still don't know how that even happened, but oh well. I'm cutting that one up for myself once I kind of get past the new year here and kids are back in school and I maybe have an afternoon to myself to do that. So, but yeah, so that, I mean, that's what the full set looks like, and that's what my family members got as part of their gift. And it's a really, really simple thing to make. When I'm sewing around the outside edge, again, you definitely have to iron it to get it nice and flat. But I start at the bottom seam so that I'm sewing over that first. You know, you sew a few stitches, you back stitch, and then you make your way around, and then a back stitch again on the way, all the way around, so that it's nice and tight and the seam hopefully does not ever fall apart for either yourself or that gift recipient. Fun, easy project to do. I think if you can get your hands on some flannel material that is on sale or even not on sale, it doesn't matter. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. I will have some new videos coming soon, and I appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the like button. I really appreciate that. And subscribing to the channel for future videos. I have some fun ideas for down the road that I hope I can actually set up properly and do nicely. And I think it'll be a really kind of nice, relaxing type of video down the road here. So, okay, that's it. Thanks for being here. See ya in the next video. Bye.